Hello and welcome back to André Plays / Analyses Unreal. I've done a bit of a change. I've moved the little video camera picture of me from the top to the bottom because it turned out that in this original Unreal, in the unpatched version, it actually gives you messages on the top of your screen instead of on the bottom of your screen like it does in later versions of Unreal. So I put the video of me at the bottom so you can see the images, so you can see the messages it gives you at the top of the screen. Anyway, let us now begin our game. We go game, new game. The difficulty, we can pick easy, medium, hard, or unreal. We will pick unreal difficulty, and this time it's going to actually work. Unlike last playthrough where the saving and loading games messed it up and it reset to the default, which is medium. This time we're going to play unreal difficulty and it's going to work. Okay, now you can choose your player. You can give yourself a custom name and give yourself a custom skin. I'm just doing the default. So the default name is player. The default skin is Gina. This would seem to suggest that the name of the actual player in the game, the name of the player, the woman that you play as in the story, her real name might be Gina. The fact that the default skin is called Gina, because you can change the default skin, so you can change the skin to other people. You can also change the class. This is female 1, this is female 2, so you can change it to female 2. Get other people. Male 1, male 2. Just wait till he moves around again. And male 3. Wait till you can see their face. But yeah, we are going to be playing as female 1, Gina, because that is the default setting. Now let us begin our game. So we start by lying down or being on our back and slowly getting up. We have 12 health, we are severely injured, and we are on some sort of spaceship. Let's look around. The mouse sensitivity is pretty good. So we have a bed here. There's a bit of an echo. And we have here a little toilet, although it's kind of hard to see in the dark. But there's a toilet seat there. We hear screams. All prisoners remain in your cells.
Prisoners 849 escaping.
Prisoner 849 escaping. That's us. We are prisoner 849, and that is the only thing the game tells us about our name. Although, like I said, the fact that the default skin is called Gina suggests that our real name might be Gina. We have lots of fancy effects. We have dynamic lighting, we have shaking, we have blood and guts. This looks like a woman because you can sort of see the breasts in the blood and guts. Broken toilet. Broken bed, and you see a book here. We'll be able to read the book as soon as we get the translator, which allows us to read messages from the environment. Dead body here. Another cell here. So clearly these are prison cells. And the fact that there are no bars suggests that they used to have force fields across them, like high-tech force fields to stop you from getting out. But now that the ship we are in has crashed, we wake up in the prison cell and there are no force fields, just a lot of flickery lights and broken things. Here we find a bandage. Bandage, if we get it, you see at the top, it says you got some bandages +5, and our health goes from 12 to 17. So bandages are a healing item in Unreal. Unreal uses a system of health and healing items. Bandages, the interesting thing about items in Unreal is that the game doesn't exactly care so much about the lore of where an item comes from. So you might say, okay, cool, we found a bandage here. Does that mean that bandages are human-made because we're on a human spaceship? Well, we find bandages in human areas, we find bandages in gnarly areas, the areas of the of the native people on the planet. And we also find bandages in scar areas, the areas that are built and, equipped with items from the invading aliens, the Scar. Those are the three main, like, I guess, races in Unreal. The three main sort of types of ships and stuff that you'll come across. There are human, which is you, Gnarly, the native creatures, and Scar, the alien invaders. Although you do find some stuff from, like, the mercenaries, which is like another separate species of alien. But the three main races that you interact with on the party are human, Gnarly, and Scar. Now, like I said, you might have the question, well, like health items, you know? Some message that I can't really make out. But yeah, you might ask, so like which items come from which people, you know? Is this a Gnarly item? Did the indigenous people of the planet make this? Is this human made? Is this Scar made? And the answer to in many cases is simply that the game doesn't care. I guess this game was still too early for them to really take the story that seriously. Instead, you just get health items around you, you know, healing items, and like these bandages that give you 5 health. And who made them? It doesn't matter, you know. It's like you come across the same items in human areas, in Gnarly areas, in Scar areas. And it's, you know, a lot of the time you'll find that the answer to where does this item come from in the game is that it doesn't care. We also find this guy, this pole clearly impaled him. And now we can go on this. This is an elevator that activates when you stand on it. So we ride the elevator up and we get this item. Press F2 to activate the translator. This item is called the translator. And you can see in the top right, we now have the translator item. We can actually switch to different items that we have and activate items. So there are 3 types of items in Unreal. Collectible items, activatable items, and health/armor. Collectible items are basically items that you can basically collect more than one of. So for instance, flares. We'll come across flares in a second. Flares, basically, you can pick up one, and then once you pick up one, you can pick up a second, you can pick up a third, you can pick up however many you want of them. You can have 10, you can have 100 of them. And each time you activate them, you simply use them in a one-off occurrence. So for instance, with flares, once you use them, you light them and let them go, and that is your usage of them. Those are the collectible items. Activatable items like the translator are basically, you collect them, and then once you use them, you can basically turn them on and off. Things like scuba gear or flashlights are activatable items. You pick them up and then you turn them on and turn them off. And as you turn them on and turn them off, once you use them, you actually slowly run down their battery. Although the translator, I would say the translator is an activatable item with an infinite battery. You can use it and it never actually runs out. It works for the rest of the game. And lastly, you have health/armor items, which basically, as soon as you pick them up, they don't actually appear as an item that in your inventory at all. Rather, instead, you use them and you walk over them, and they immediately have their one-off effect. It's a once-off effect. You walk over the health, boom, you have the health. So it doesn't appear in your inventory, whereas both collectible items and activatable items appear in your inventory. Also, now that we have this translator, we can read this book here. New translator message. We press F2 to activate the translator. Benjamin Nathaniel's diary, day 93. Today is my birthday. I will celebrate by attempting to start another prison riot. So this is what I mean by the story. It doesn't tell you flat out, hey, you are a prisoner, but rather you get the translator, you read these messages, and you infer, I appear to be on some sort of prison spaceship. There's also, in the dark here, if you look carefully, there's actually a lever here, which if you press it, activates this lift. We go down here, and we see this prisoner here, and a console. We press this, and if we look at the prisoner, they are electrocuted and blown up, and you see all their little body giblets fly everywhere. There's a bit of a glitch where you can't see the electric beams through the glass properly. This was also a glitch in the version 2.2.3, but it was patched out later on in later patches. They fixed it up so you can actually see the electricity bolts properly. But anyway, this translator message said, "Prisoner 853 James Kavanaugh, ready for electrocution. So this is sort of showing off how it's got dynamic effects. You can shoot electricity beams. You can see bits of blood fly everywhere. Let's get this lift back up. Cool. Now we can go up. We see a dead body here. And the message on this screen. New translator message. Attention all prisoners. Remember, be kind to your cellmate. Violence will not be tolerated. Attention all prisoners. Lights out tonight at 2000. No exceptions. So these messages, these messages basically are telling us that we are on some sort of prison spaceship and that we were a prisoner on this spaceship. We are in a dark cell here. We step here and we see shaking. Oh, wow. Oh. We shake off. This thing collapses down here. This thing, part of the ground fell and a big beam nearly fell. So, dynamic environments. Very fancy for 1998.
Prisoners 472 escaping.
Another cell. We find a ventilation sort of hatch here and a door here. We find another book. Boris Clegg's diary, day 3. I have been here but 3 days and already I have 2 cracked ribs, a fractured thigh, and 14 stitches. I don't know if I'll make it to the prison moon, much less to the end of next week. So yeah, this tells us that the ship was traveling to some sort of prison moon. And that, I guess, prison life is pretty rough. Here we find a dead guy, and we find a flare. Like I said, this is a collectible item, so we walk over it, and now we have a flare in our items in the top right of the screen. It's a collectible item, so it's a once-off usage. So if we activate the flare, we simply throw it. You can see the toilet a bit more clearly, a bit of yucky liquids in the toilet. And after about a few seconds, the flare will explode and run out. So flares are a good source of temporary lighting, and because this game, Unreal, is very dark at times, to show off the dynamic lighting, Another dead guy. And yeah, we made it. Oh, there's a book in this room. I forgot to check out this book, I think. Jonas Gershwin's diary, day 204. There was another roach in my lunch today. I wonder how they make it on board. I wonder how they make it on board starships such as this one. If that bitch in cell 4A keeps looking at me funny, I swear I'm gonna rip out her larynx. That bitch in cell 4A could possibly be me, because that was my cell just down there, and this guy could, from his cell probably see me in my cell. And although it could also be this woman, I guess, but most of these cells seem to be men. Man there, man there. But yeah, so I should mention this door here is not only is it unopenable, but it actually does not even lead anywhere. Like, there is no logical way for it to be connected with the rest of the ship. If we do a little cheaty cheat and we type in ghost and we ghost out of here, we see that it's not connected to anywhere, and it doesn't make sense. This door, it's not connected to anything, and it doesn't make sense. There's like no way where it could be connected to the other parts of the ship. In fact, it was a rather late addition to this map, probably as they realized that it doesn't make sense for the prison area to only be reachable via a duct, via a air condition, like an air duct. But like I said, so there's a door here, so that it looks like it makes sense to reach it. It looks like it makes sense to exit it to another part of the map, but in the geography of the map, it doesn't really work out. Anyway, let us now go through this air duct. Sorry, I'm just checking my list of things to talk about. We see a scar, but it runs off. We see another dead person here. Lots of green flashing lights. A sort of gas leak here, I guess. More gas leaks. More screens. And we exit in
You have entered a
here.
area.
You have entered a restricted area. There's actually a secret here if we actually dodge here. I forgot to tell you about dodging, yeah. So you can double click either forward, back, left or right twice to do like a quick jump in that direction. So I can click right twice pretty quickly to do a quick jump in that direction. There's actually on top of there, if you look and see where I'm looking, you actually see clips on top of there. That's ammo for the second gun. It's there's secret ammo for the second gun before we've even gotten the first gun. Anyway, but before I get them, let me read some of these logs. This door opens. First officer's log, Vortex Rikers. The prisoners have become more and more restless as we get closer to the prison moon. Security says they have the prisoners under control, but several have had to be taken to med lab for treatment. Oh yeah, I should mention that these textures, sometimes as the game progresses, sometimes you'll see them placed backwards, but of course, when you usually play the game, like on normally, you know, before later patches, the textures are such low quality that it doesn't matter which way they're placed. They're not even readable. However, in later unofficial patches and later unofficial mods, which make the textures very high quality and make them readable, it will actually matter that some of them are placed backwards because they have to, you know, they can actually make legible text on them. If they're going to increase the quality of the textures to make them actually legible and have legible text, then if one texture is placed one way and the other texture is placed backwards, then you can clearly see, however which way you put the texture, at least one of those ways is going to look bad, you know, it's going to look backwards. Just a side note. Anyway, yep, we've read this translator message. Here's the main captain's seat. Captain's log, stardate 2469. I'm just playing around. What does this say? Captain's log S. Kroon, Vortex Rikers. Altering our course may have proven detrimental to our mission. We are caught in the gravitational field of an uncharted planet. I have ordered the engine foreman to divert power to the drives. So yeah, very Star Trek-like, and very much like telling us that they have, telling us the story, telling us what's happened. They have altered their course, and now suddenly they're caught in the gravitational field of an uncharted planet, and they, you know, are trying to escape that. Here is a guy. We walk up to him, and he has a bit of a death throw. He clearly wasn't dead, but he was just dying. New translator message. Navigator's log, Vortex Rikers. We are en route. It should be en route with EN. I mean, actually, I guess it depends. Has en route become so naturalized in English that now we say on with ON? We are en route to the prison moon. Long-range sensors are detecting uncharted magnetic masses in Gamma Sector 83H. The captain has ordered a change in course. We can now go through here. We find that the floor is actually... we just got a health pack. I forgot to actually tell us, show that. That was like a sort of cylindrical object with health on it, with like a red plus sign on it, and that gave us 20 health. That item is called a health pack. And we'll come across a lot of other health packs in this game, so don't worry, you'll see a lot more, but I forgot to sort of focus on it before accidentally picking it up, or just naturally picking it up. But yeah, once again, health packs. Are they human? Are they gnarly? Are they Scar? You find them all over the place in the game, so they could belong to anyone. The fact that there are health packs on this ship natively seems to imply that humans do make them, but as we'll see, it seems like Scar also make them, because you find them all over the game. You can look down and you can see our body being reflected, so like live dynamic reflections, very impressive. And in here we see some sort of suit in a force field and a button on the roof. If we stand underneath this button and jump, then that deactivates the force field, and we can pick up this item called the Kevlar suit. The Kevlar suit is one type of armor in Unreal. Basically, in Unreal, you can wear assault vests, which are a separate type of armor, and you can wear one type of suit. The Kevlar suit just provides you 100 points of damage protection, and basically, the way it works is that when you take damage, now instead of it all going to your health, some of it goes to your suit and only a little bit goes to your health, so the suit protects you. However, if you were to pick up another suit, like a toxin suit, which protects you from toxic liquids, then that will override the suit you're currently wearing. So you got to be strategic with if you want to pick up another suit or whether you want to keep the suit you're currently wearing so as not to override it. If we step down here, we go down to the lower floor. We can press this button, and that just activates this lift. And we can step out in here, and now we are in that section below where we were up there. And we see some crates. We see this door, which doesn't open. And we see this area, which is closed off. Yeah, interesting fact, this area, if we actually, once again, use a cheat and ghost to it, this area, it seems to be an unfinished area. These could be either like showers or crew berths or something. Who knows? But over here, we see there's actually a mesh, a sort of like an air duct, and if we go down it, we end up back in. Here we were in the main prison cell area. So this area, clearly it was, was it an unplanned area? Was it something they were planning on doing, they were planning on finishing? Or is it simply there to simply show us that the ship has more space than what we can actually explore, to sort of make the ship look bigger and more realistic, Not everywhere in the ship has to be somewhere that we can actually reach. Who knows? Either way, we can go back here. And this door is locked. It's unopenable, but if you were to go through it, you'd actually find it takes you to a later place in the map, so I'll show you when we actually get there. So yeah, let's go back up to get those clips that I mentioned. The ammo for the second, the ammo for the second gun. Just click that button, stand here. And like I mentioned, if you press up, down, left or right in quick succession, like twice in quick succession, you do a dodge, which can get you further than where you can ordinarily get. Also, crouching, while you crouch, you can't actually fall off. So I'm crouching now, not because I need to be low, but because while you crouch, you then any sort of big gap like this, it treats it like a wall. While you're crouching, you can walk up to gaps, walk up to drops, but you can never actually fall off while you crouch. Anyway, let me dodge onto this platform. Let me dodge onto this. And now I can pick up these clips. You'll notice in the bottom right of the screen, you see there's now a little bit of ammo for gun 2 and also for gun 10, because gun 2 and gun 10 actually share the same type of ammo. They both use clips. Cool, now I'm down here. I can hear some wires, it's just dynamic. No, sorry, not dynamic, sorry, it's just decoration, just the texture. And jump down here. Here's a lift. Takes me up. Nothing underneath there. Oh, you can actually see this little live wire flickering up there, you see? And there's a bit of shaking, a bit of exploding. If we stand under it, we actually get a bit of electrocution. There's blood, pools of blood on the floor. So clearly, the ship's taken a lot of damage, there's wires flying, people have been dying. Hey, that rhymes. We see, this is a med lab, another woman, no message. Here's another health pack. So this, so if you want to get a good look at it, here we go. It's kind of cylindrical, a bit wider at the top, and got a big plus on it, because health is a big plus. Get it? Health is a big plus. And when we pick it up, it gives us 20. Gives us 20 health, up to a maximum of 100. Does this thing have a log? Chief Medical Officer's log. Prison vessel 254 Vortex Rikers. The constant fighting between prisoners seems to be getting worse. At this rate, I will be out of supplies long before we reach the prison moon. Other message? No, just more scans of people's bodies, more blood and guts. Walking through these little lights up here.
You have entered a restricted area.
You've entered a restricted area. Okay, this is a dead corpse. We can run and jump. Some boxes here. We hear the growl of a Scar warrior. And here we find some more health. Awesome. This door opens. As we step forward, spooky. We are treated to a sort of cutscene. The door's locked, we can't go through, and we hear someone screaming from the other side. And we catch a glimpse of a Scar warrior. So yeah, that was just like a spooky little dynamic cutscene sort of thing. So we find, is that a heart up there? I think that's a human heart. Found lots of dead bodies. We heard someone shouting, "Shit, what the hell was that?" And then shooting that monster, but they died, and then you saw running away that sort of big lizard-like creature. That is a Scar warrior. And the Scar, that's like one of the main casts of Scar. The Scar, I mentioned, they're the main bad guys of the game. They're the invaders invading this planet, Napali. Their race has like a hive structure, so there's like different castes of Scar with different roles. And that was a Scar warrior. You'll see they're basically naked. They're big, beefy, what would I call it? Like lizard-like creatures. And they shoot these electricity bolts from their hands. And there are several different subcasts of Scar warrior. They're slightly different size and slightly different coloration. There's a slightly different health and toughness. But anyway, we walked into this room. We see some sort of navigational log on the screen. We see lots of dead people, another heart or spleen or some organ there. And we find our first gun, the dispersion pistol. We hear a heartbeat. You got the dispersion pistol. So the dispersion pistol is the first gun, and unlike other guns, you'd never find any ammo for it. The dispersion pistol, instead of running out of ammo, the ammo recharges. So we start with 50 ammo. We can go primary fire, left click, shoots this sort of beam of energy. And alternate fire, right click, you hold it down, and it charges up a stronger beam of energy. It releases automatically after a few seconds. So as you see, if you look to the bottom right, the ammo for this gun slowly recharges. So we don't actually have to worry about collecting ammo for this gun. This is like the default, infinite ammo gun. Except the ammo is not truly infinite. It just recharges over time up to 50. Automatically. However, throughout the game, we do find dispersion pistol power-ups. These sort of elongated, cylindrical, white, spinny things. When we pick them up, they basically upgrade our gun. So they make our gun stronger. And they increase the maximum amount of ammo it can have. And they change the color of the energy beam. So we pick up the first one, it will make our gun wider, and like our gun will look different. It will basically upgrade the gun, and why is the sound going on and off like that? Oh, it stopped now. It's good now. That was weird. I don't know. Maybe some glitch. Like I said, this release version, this original version of Unreal is full of so many minor glitches and bugs all over the place. But yeah, when we pick up the dispersion pistol power up, our dispersion pistol will become more powerful, and it will shoot bullets a different color, and it will have 10 more maximum ammo. So throughout the game, there are a handful of dispersion pistol power ups. And so this would seem to imply that the dispersion pistol is a Scar gun. Because if it was a human gun, if the humans made the dispersion pistol, why would there be upgrades for it on the planet? It does seem, once again, like I said, the game doesn't really take that much effort into making its lore consistent in this sense. But if I were to take a guess, I would say the dispersion pistol is a Scar gun. We find a lot of Scar troopers later on in the game holding this gun. Scar troopers are a different class of Scar that wear armor and hold guns. And throughout Napali, we do find upgrades for this gun. So I would say it's probably made by the Scar. What it's doing here, though, who knows? Maybe the Scar brought it on board with them. Maybe it is meant to be. Maybe the game does want you to think that it's meant to be humans carrying the gun. Who knows? Either way, look at this. The glass is breakable. This was just like navigator's info. Nothing important. There was no translator message. Oh, suddenly a lot of lag from the software rendering. Oh, yikes. This is indeed a lot of lag. I might have to turn down the quality of the graphics. See, I would love to have I would love to have made it use my graphics card to render the graphics, but unfortunately Unreal doesn't recognize it. The game is so old that it doesn't actually recognize modern graphics cards, so the only way to render it was to use software rendering. But I thought, computers nowadays are strong enough that I can turn on all the dynamic textures and dynamic lighting and everything onto the highest. But it looks like... oh, god damn it, it looks like I might have to turn it down a bit. Here we see... oh god, it is lagging a lot. It didn't even show us the bullet. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to turn down the quality of these graphics. Why is it this? I don't know why it's only this part. For some reason, it's never anywhere else. It's only when I'm looking at this screen, because as soon as I turn around, it goes back to normal. Weird, I don't know. Maybe I'll wait till I come across this glitch again. First aid station, break glass. Ah, there was no, like, I saw the glass on it, but when the glass broke, it didn't make like a shattered effect. I don't know, the glass seemed to have just disappeared. Either way, we now have a shiny floor. See, the shiny floor seems to work fine. We pick up another health. But yeah, like I said, usually I expected the glass to like show it breaking, but it seemed to just vanish. We have a fan here, and an empty passageway here. Oh, see like the light flares, you know? Pretty good quality effects. What does this say? Any message? Any message? Here we go. Engine foreman's log. Prison vessel 254 Vortex Rikers. I am juicing up all the power I can to escape from the gravitational pull of this mysterious planet. It doesn't seem to be working. So yeah, they're trying to escape now, Harley, but no matter what they do, it doesn't seem to be working. We can press this eye-shaped button, and this lift goes down. We can get on it.
Security breaches detected.
So yeah, we have more crates here, and this door was the one. You know how I mentioned before, this door can if we go through this. First of all, this door I should show you doesn't actually open. If we walk up to it, nothing happens. It can't open. But if we go through it, we find there's this middle place, and then on the other side, we're back here. Remember I mentioned that door here that connects to a later area, even though you can't open it. So this shows you it connects to this area here. We can go through it and end up back on this side. So yeah, that's how that works. Find another dead body. Whole lot of shaking going on. Area B. This door opens up automatically, and we are now in Area C. More crates of stuff, I don't know, supplies and stuff. Chief Security Guards log. Prison vessel 254 Vortex Rikers. They've pulled all power to the drives, to no effect. We're spiraling towards the planet. I don't know what is going to happen to us. So yeah, that's the last message we get. They're spiraling towards the planet, and as we can see, the ship has crashed into the planet. Here it says, in case of emergency, break glass, and now we have a weapon, we can break the glass, and I think this glass has the proper effect. Yeah, you can see the little pieces fall on the floor. See them? But anyway, we broke the glass, and it opened this hatch. So now, it goes silent, and we can step into the hatch to go to the next map. And now we are in the next map, and Rhine-Davis Falls. And I shall save it here. So now if we go load map, we see it says Rhine-Davis Falls. And yeah, I shall see you next time on André plays / analyzes Unreal.